Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're stepping away from our usual deep dives into specific ETFs or investment strategies. Instead, we're going to explore a bigger idea, a kind of philosophy for how you structure not just your wealth, but maybe even your life. We found that what's true for investing is often true for health and wealth in general. So this is our take on a different big picture way of looking at things.
So yeah, just to set the stage here, this isn't going to be a typical analysis. I want you to think of this more as a case study, a collection of ideas that, when put together, form a really powerful perspective. So with that, welcome to an essay by Blueprint to Escape.
Let's dive right in. What we're really exploring here is a philosophy, not just another financial plan. It's about getting to the why behind all your financial moves, not just the what. This is the kind of psychological foundation that makes any strategy you choose actually stick for the long haul. It's a framework where all the financial tools are just that, tools, to get you to an end, not the end itself.
Okay, and you know the drill. We have to do the quick but super important disclaimer. Nothing here is personal, financial, investment, or retirement advice. These are just some ideas that have really worked for us, and we've structured them into this essay. A huge part of this whole philosophy is about taking personal responsibility. So our only goal here is to give you a different perspective to think about for your own journey. There's no single right way to do this.
So, what's on the agenda today? Here's the game plan. We're going to start by really diagnosing a problem that a lot of us face, something called the middle class trap. Then we'll build out the solution with two main pillars. First, the mindset, and second, the math that makes it all work. After that, we'll see how those two come together to create a real path to autonomy, and we'll wrap up by turning the main question of this essay back to you.
All right, let's jump right into the big problem we're trying to solve here. It's something I think many people experience, but they might not have a name for it. We call it the middle class trap, which is really just a cage, but a very comfortable one.
So what exactly is this trap? Now, you've probably heard this called other things, like the hedonic treadmill, or more commonly, lifestyle inflation. It's that almost automatic instinct to spend more as you earn more. You get a raise, so you get a nicer car. You land a bonus, and suddenly you're looking at bigger houses. And look, on the surface, this feels great, right? It feels like progress, like you're enjoying the rewards of your hard work. But what's really happening under the hood is that your cost of living is always rising, which keeps you chained to your job and prevents you from building real, lasting freedom.
And this slide, man, this really lays it all out, doesn't it? It frames the choice perfectly. On the left, you've got temporary luxury, the new car, the bigger house, the stuff that gives you a quick hit of satisfaction. But on the right, you have what this philosophy argues is the real grand prize, permanent autonomy. The stuff on the right, it's not about things at all. It's about your life's conditions, owning your own time, having the freedom to live wherever you want, having the power to work on things you're truly passionate about. The left is a cycle of spending. The right is a system for compounding your freedom.
So, what's the real danger here? What are the risks of getting stuck in this trap? Well, first, it just completely derails your biggest long-term goals. Every single dollar that goes into upgrading your lifestyle is a dollar that can't go into building a sustainable passive income floor, that financial foundation that can support you forever. If you've ever dreamed of retiring early or living a nomadic life, this trap makes it basically impossible from a math standpoint. And maybe the worst part. It ties your actual happiness to constantly buying more stuff, a treadmill where you have to keep running just to stay in the same place.
Okay, so that's the problem. It's a big one. So where do we even start to find a solution? Well, it doesn't start on a spreadsheet. It starts inside your own head. This brings us to pillar one, the mindset. This is the psychological bedrock that everything else is built on.
Listen, if you only remember one single thing from our entire time together today, make it this. This is the absolute core of the entire philosophy. Decouple your net worth from your self-worth. Your value as a human being has absolutely zero to do with the number you see in your bank account. Really, truly letting this sink in, that's the key that unlocks the whole thing. It's the key to the cage.
So what does that actually look like in the real world? It means you have to completely redefine what wealth means to you. Wealth is no longer measured by the fancy car you can afford or the exotic vacation you can post about. It's measured in units of freedom. How many months could you go without working a job? How many hours of your day do you actually control? When you start to see wealth through that lens, your entire financial world just shifts on its axis.
But look, having a strong mindset, it's awesome, but it's not enough on its own. You can have all the discipline in the world, but if you don't have a practical strategy to go with it, it's just a nice thought. And that brings us to pillar two, the mathematics. This is the strategic framework that actually turns this philosophy into a real, tangible thing.
And here's the core action, the how-to part. Mathematically prioritize high-yield reinvestment. I know it sounds a little technical, but the idea is actually super simple. It just means you make a conscious, data-driven choice. Instead of letting your investment returns or your pay raise just sort of leak out into lifestyle upgrades, you build a system to capture that money and put it right back to work for you. It's about prioritizing the engine of your freedom over the decorations for your cage. I love this slide because it really shows the difference between this philosophy and the typical financial advice you hear everywhere. The common advice is just earn more money. And yeah, earning more is great, but that advice completely misses the real problem, lifestyle inflation. You can double your income and still be just as trapped if your spending doubles right along with it. But the alternative we're talking about here, it's way smarter. It focuses on systematically reinvesting what your assets are already producing for you. It doesn't just ignore lifestyle inflation, it actively fights against it by building a compounding system that works for your freedom.
All right, let's get into the nuts and bolts. What does this reinvestment engine actually look like in action? It's this beautiful, powerful, and honestly, pretty simple loop. Step 1, your assets, your ETFs, stocks, whatever, they generate distributions. Think dividends, interest, things like that. Step 2, you build an unbreakable rule, a system, that funnels those returns right back into buying more of those assets. Step 3, as you do this over and over, your passive income floor, the money you make in your sleep, it just keeps rising. And finally, step 4, this engine starts running so fast that it outpaces your desire to spend more, and that's what secures your path to freedom.
Okay, now for what I think is the most powerful part of this whole idea. These two pillars, mindset and math, they're not separate concepts, they're deeply connected. The real path to autonomy is found right at the point where that mindset meets the mathematics.
Here's the thing you have to understand. The math only works if you have the psychological strength to actually stick with it. It's easy to say, I'm going to reinvest everything. It's a lot harder to do when all your friends are buying new stuff and you're getting bombarded with ads for luxury everything. That mindset, decoupling your self-worth from your net worth, that's your why. That's the fuel that keeps the engine running when things get tough and the temptation to spend is high. It gives you the discipline to execute the math month after month.
And this right here, this is the goal. This is what it all leads to. When your mindset and your math are working together perfectly, this is what happens. Your passive income floor, the wealth your system is generating all on its own, starts to grow faster than your desire to consume. That's the moment you win. It's the moment you hit what I like to call escape velocity from the system. It's the clear, measurable proof that you are achieving real, permanent autonomy.
So, this slide just wraps it all up perfectly. It's the whole formula for autonomy, right here. It all starts with Pillar 1, the mindset. That mindset is what enables you to execute Pillar 2, the math. And when you consistently apply that math, it leads to the key outcome, a passive income floor that grows faster than your desires. And the final result of all that? Permanent autonomy. It's a clear path from a simple internal shift to a powerful external reality.
All right, so as we start to wrap this essay up, let's just take a step back for a second, because the point of all this isn't to give you a strict set of rules to follow. It's really just to get you thinking about one very important question.
And I really want to say this again because it's so important. This is just one philosophy. It's just a collection of ideas. Look, we get it. Life happens. There are kids, family commitments, mortgages, all of it. A steady income is incredibly important for almost everyone. Nobody should listen to this and feel guilty or like they're on the wrong path. All we're doing here is offering a different way to think about it, a different lens to look through as you figure out your own unique journey.
So, we're going to leave you with this one final question to think about. It really gets to the heart of the trade-off in this whole philosophy. And hey, there is no right or wrong answer here. There's only your answer. What is truly more valuable to you? The temporary luxury? The upgrade you can get today? Or the permanent autonomy? The freedom you can lock in for all of your tomorrows?
Well, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for sticking with us through this essay. We would genuinely love to hear what you think about all this. Does it resonate with you? Do you think it's nonsense? Please post your comments or questions down below. And if these kinds of big ideas around financial independence, passive income, and early retirement are your thing, please consider subscribing for more. We'll see you in the next one.